Great day, Glamour Kids family. Welcome back to our channel. Today I put together a compilation of our classes that we had, beginners, intermediate, and advanced. I'll be going over a few common steps for our beginners class, intermediate, and advanced. As you can see here, we have our youth student, and she's a teenager learning how to do beginner braiding. So we're basically doing the step by step, the 1, 2, and 3 step that I call doing individuals as well as cornrows. So we go over different sizes: small, medium, and large cornrows, small, medium, and large to jumbo individual box braids. This is beginner's class without extensions. For those of you who don't know how to braid or just want to basically improve on your braiding skills, you want to start off with the beginner's course. Here you will learn how to hold the hair firmly, how to start your braid off, how to add in pieces of hair as you continue to braid. Now, our easy 1, 2, 3 step, we include small pieces to medium-sized pieces of hair into each section. So basically what she did here was a Dutch braid. We also go over French braiding. Now you can do a combination of classes for that day. And basically here we added extension. This is our traditional box braid. As you can see, the knot at the beginning, at the base of the braid. So we are braiding with extension. You want to try to match your extension with the same color of the hair. So this mannequin here has about a brown, so we went with the number 4. Number 4 is a darker to medium brown. All the tools that we use, you can use tools such as the comb and clips to help sweep into each section, whatever makes it easier. As you can see, everyone has their own style, whatever feels comfortable for you. Our next student here is learning how to do precision parting. So I feel like parting is a major make or break on your braid styles. So we practice our parting. We want to make sure it's straight as possible. This student here, she basically wanted to use the imaginary line step. So what we did, we parted down the middle, and we basically started off with our 3 sections in the front. Here I am instructing her on how to sweep her hair in. You basically want to go under, pull your pieces under versus over. So I'm basically instructing her with our hands-on classes here in Orlando, Florida. We basically go over step by step. Okay. We also use certain products to help mold our hair. If there's a mistake, we undo the braid and we start all over again. So here I'm just instructing her on which piece to pull in. So you're basically going to pull in your left piece middle, right piece middle, left piece middle, right piece middle. Okay. And when you get ready to start your cornrow, that's when you start to add smaller sections. Okay, and here we're just finishing up the braid, the cornrow actually, because cornrows are onto the scalp. With larger braids, 2 braids, it's a little tougher to maneuver your hands because you're working with large sections of hair. So sometimes, you know, some of my students, they do have a harder time, but I would not allow them to leave until they actually get it.
My name is Hazel, and I took the beginner's braiders class today. I had a good time. but I learned how to do the braids, and I'm very happy about the outcome of the classes. So yeah.
Okay.
Highly
And
recommend it.
what did you learn today?
So I learned how to do the braids. What are they?
Cornrows.
Cornrows. And showed me how to do box braids, and then how to braid like outside, because I didn't know how to do it. Like I didn't know how to do this at all. So she basically taught me just now. Yeah. So I'm very appreciative. She's a good teacher, and I highly recommend this class. So yeah.
So sometimes I get students that are used to braiding underhand, and they also have to learn how to do overhand as well. So here she is practicing how to add extensions. We do overhand and underhand. As I mentioned before, parting is essential to your braids in order to have a beautiful braid. You want to make sure your parts are looking nice, straight, and smooth as possible. Some of my students come in with a little knowledge of how to cornrow as well as individual braid. We are basically going over how to perfect your cornrows and how to perfect your individual braids with and without extensions. Here, this is a traditional cornrow with extensions. We go over large, medium, small, and jumbo. Here's another youth student. She is learning how to cornrow with extensions. Some of our students learn how to do cornrows and individuals different ways. So you will see some that use the fist method, and you also see some that use their inner finger. I normally just go with what works for each student. We learn different ways of hand placement, but I have to be honest with myself and with the student. They just need to learn how to cornrow into individual braid with the way their fingers feel comfortable. And we pretty much go from there. So I instruct you step by step, product wise, tools, and hand placement, as well as if the braid doesn't feel or look good to you, I'll allow you to undo it and redo it to perfect your craft. We also practice how to braid in many ways. Upside down braids can be challenging, but we all practice them in my class. You do have the option to practice on an actual person versus a mannequin. I love the fact that some of our students bring in their models and they can practice on an individual, get that, human experience versus the mannequin experience. So here we're just basically doing underhand, the 1, 2, 3 method. Okay. Here again, she's using the fist and the finger method. I'm a big fan of the fist method if you can't use your fingers, your fingertips, or your nails. Okay, we're just learning how to take each section little bit by little bit. This will allow your braids and your cornrows to look nice and neat versus being bundled or jumbled together. Okay, and this is her first time braiding cornrowing as well. Here she's learning how to do the French braid. She also learned how to do the Dutch braid as well. These are larger sections. Here we learn how to use our comb in order to bring out smaller sections versus using our hands and our fingertips. She also took our intermediate class that day. That means you're adding extensions, braiding hair. Also learn how to cornrow with braiding hair as well. And this is our intermediate. Now, I do suggest for first timers to have your model hold the extensions. That way it's not pulling on their scalp. So I do teach you how to safely cornrow. Sometimes I'll have parents that will come in and learn on the actual daughters. If you're new to natural hair or texture hair, you want to be able to learn how to cornrow and do individuals and twist, just natural hairstyles on your child, versus, having someone tell you what to do. At least you'll learn hands-on how to do it versus someone telling you. Here I'm just showing her step by step the 1, 2, 3 method. We're just using our fingers to bring those pieces underneath and to actually section. Smaller sections always works. Smaller sections make the braid and the cornrow lay down smooth as possible. Here we're using the comb and a little product to keep everything together. So we just want to tame those flyaways. Here's the mom learning how to cornrow her child's natural hair. Now we do have a lot of multicultural children nowadays that we all are trying to learn how to basically do protective styles on their hair. We may not love the idea of blow drying. Everyone does not need to have blow dry. So this actual student here is learning how to cornrow without blow drying the hair. So this is natural short hair. Okay. Now this way may be a little difficult, but you can still achieve it without blow drying. So she is taking her sections and she is learning how to use her fingers step by step. Okay. Hand placement is very, very important. Here, this student here learned how to blow dry, as well as how to detangle, as well as parting. In our class, we learned many different ways on how to perfect our cornrows and our braids. Okay. So right now, basically what she's doing is cornrowing. She is not directly on the scalp. She is close enough, but she can achieve the cornrow without being exactly on the scalp. So here I'm just instructing her on how to do piece by piece, using smaller pieces, as well as placing your finger to hold it in place, because sometimes the braid tries to lift up and we don't want that. Okay, here's our famous 2 braids. Again, parting is very essential. You want to use your product down the part, and you just want to make it straight as possible. You can use the rat tail, or you can use the actual parting tool that's at the beginning of the comb. Okay. All right, and here we go. We are going to pull in large sections, but we also want to make sure that the hair is held very firm. We don't want to pull, but we want to make sure it's very firm and stays in place.
Hey everyone, so this was my first braiding class. I have no braiding knowledge before coming. Today I was able to learn how to do cornrows. We did a small braid, medium, and large. And then we also worked on the 2 braids. So I was able to learn technique, how to properly part the hair, and how to pull the hair together and make sure that my hands were tight enough to get the braid tight. So I thought the class was amazing. I'm so glad that I was able to come, and I feel like I can now go try it on my daughter.